Hello everyone. So in this tutorial for Worldbuilder, I'm going to show you how you can start to set up your own missions and do some interesting stuff for custom multiplayer scenarios. I want to show you specifically how you can, well, one, start without builders. So that's ideal for if you wanted to do a specific kind of mission and you have only, say, unit production structures around without need of a fortress, uh, or how you can even start off without a fortress. Um, so I'm going to show you a couple of things on how to do all that. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little bonus on how you can, well, basically how you can find your vanilla game maps. I somehow failed to cover that in my very first episode that I did quite a while back now, so I wanted to remedy that. Alright, so here's what we do. To start off, so you can have no builders at all, it's going to be a little bit of a process here. So you got to go up to scripting. Alright, go to your player, of course, and you're going to want to do a couple of different things here. First and foremost, so I've already got this set up. You want to make a new script, and you're going to go over to actions if true. Now, like I said, I already got this set up, but here's what you do. You go down to scripting, and you go to object list, add object type. All right, now this is going to look a little different for you. It's going to have question marks on both sides here. And what you want to do is you go here, click on it, and then you just type in here whatever you want your new object type to be. Because we're going to have it be the builders, I put in porters because that's what unit name you're going to have to look under. You type it in here and you hit OK. And then you go over to here and it's going to ask you what kind of unit type you want. Now this is going to be for all of a specific faction's builders. In this case, we're going to use the men. Go down to men, unit. You go all the way down to men, porter. Okay? And like I said, that's going to be for only that specific faction's porters or builders. That's the default name in the game for the builders. So now, you've got a specific object of that faction's builders. This is going to the system is going to reference this specific group of units. All right. Then just hit OK. All right. So the next one, you want to do new script, of course. And we're going to go down here. Actions if true. And now you go down to scripting, reference, and you go to set reference to object type of player nearest team. Okay? And what this is going to do is it's going to detect, if you will, any nearby builders to your team area that you start with, right from the default, straight out of the gate when you start the game. It's going to detect any nearby builders around your starting point and just take them out of the game. Now you want to find those specific porters again, but you go down to object list, okay? This is the object type that we had created just a moment ago. So it's going to refer to the porters as a general thing now. Object list, there it is. And once you select that, you hit own by the player that you want to have no builders. And you're going to, if you want multiple players to do this, you're going to have to copy this whole script several times over, depending on how many players you want, and then you just fill in player 2, 3, etc. in this list. All right. And then nearest team, team player 1. Okay, so this is going to be a little weird. normally you'd see something like player 2 slash team player, or excuse me, player 1 slash team player 1 at the top. Don't hit this team either. Okay? You want to go all the way down to the bottom of the list and hit team player 1. Not too sure exactly why it's organized that way, but that's the way that it is. And then hit OK. And reference, now this is where you're going to make a new name. You're going to hit unit reference and type in whatever you want for a unit reference. We made an object list reference earlier, right up here. This is going to be your unit reference for, this group of builders. Whatever you want to name it, just type it in there the way that we did earlier. And hit OK. All right, now once that's all said and done, now this is very important. So sticking with that new script here, what you want to do is make sure that you uncheck deactivate upon success. You go down, check this box, actions fire sequentially on team, and then your player team right here, team player 1 at the bottom of the list again. Okay? And then loop the action. You can put in however many times you want. I put in 10, but never put in 0. What will happen is if you put in 0, your game, when it tries to load up, it'll just be stuck on the load screen, and you won't be able to get out. So don't do that. All right. And the reason that it has to have this happen is because you have to loop it several times over. And the reason for that is if you don't loop it, your builder, you'll see in a minute here what I mean, but your builder, only one of the builders is going to be removed, and the other one will not. You'll be stuck with one builder. All right, and then you go down to make another script. And you do the same thing, by the way, here in a minute. And you make a new script, and you go down to unit, include structures, other, delete a specific unit. And this is where you're going to fill in those question marks with the name of that unit that you just named a second ago in the second script. Now you could go over to kill a specific unit, but this is a better one. And I say this because it's going to automatically delete it from the world before you actually see it on the screen. Whereas if you go to kill a specific unit, what's going to happen is you're going to see one builder at a time die. It's going to go through a death animation, and also you're going to have the sound effects of, the narrator or whatever he is saying, your builder is killed. You don't always want to do all that. So delete a specific unit, and you get them all deleted right off the bat. No announcer voice or anything like that. Okay, hit OK. And then again, make sure that your script conditions are just exactly the same as they were. Our script properties are exactly the same as they were in script number 2 that we were just talking about. All right. And then hit apply. Always hit apply and hit OK. And then once you're done with all that, hit save. I cannot what am I trying to say here? I can't re-emphasize that enough. You always want to hit apply and OK, because otherwise it does not always work. All right, so now that we've gotten that said and done, let's see it in action. And there you are. No builders to start off with. Very easy. Well, sort of. But now, let's say that you wanted to start off without a fortress. All right, you got a custom mission set up. You want to try to do something totally different, and you don't want a fortress there. All right, well, what you do, simply, wherever you're starting with player start 1, or player 1 start, you click on it, and then you go down to here, options, go to waypoint, and then hit beacon. All right. Save it, of course. Now, when you do this, though, because you don't have any fortress, well, you're not going to start with any spellbook powers either. I'm sure there's probably a way to start without a fortress, without builders, but have spellbook powers. I don't know how to do all of that. That sounds more like that's a coding thing for modding. So, what you want to do, now this is typically used for fortress maps when you can start off with a fortress citadel or something like that. You always want to make sure that when you do this without a fortress that you have some sort of unit production structure nearby. All right, this is going to be part of your mission. Your mission or multiplayer scenario. So I'm going to have this barracks here. Now what you could also do, there's another odd way of doing this that I don't recommend. You could have your player one start outside of the map. You could just drag that and go way out here. And that's a viable option, but then you'd have to go to your scripts and for your camera setup to set up a script here. It's just one more thing. I covered this in episode 1 of this tutorial series. How you can set up a script however you want it for the camera settings. And it's just one more hassle. But again, you would still have to have a building, a unit production building on the map. You could have it off the map, but there's no way that you'd be able to lose. So because it wouldn't be able to be destroyed off the map. So just something to keep in mind. So we're gonna go ahead, save it, and pull it back up. And now you have started with only whatever structures you want, whatever level you want. You can do the same with your units, etc. But again, no spellbook powers available because you have no fortress. So there you go. Just a basic little intro to setting up your own custom missions and multiplayer scenarios. However, what you could do to have a lose condition while still having your building off the map is you could create a specific script so that way if there are units that are not present in an area, then you could automatically just sell everything that you have. In this case, it would just be the one structure, and then you'd lose. So what you do with that is you can go up here, and you go up to the polygon tool. You can start making a little area, like I've already done here, a little box. Just dot, dot, and then you just keep going however much you want, and then connect the dots here. You can make it exactly however you want, and you can stretch it. You can stretch it across the whole map. It's pretty neat. You just keep zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. Stretch it across the whole map. And you get the picture. So once you've basically encapsulated your whole map, then you go up to scripts. All right. And you want to hit script conditions. Make a new script up there. And go down to player area. And player doesn't have any units in an area. Player 1. And go ahead and fill in that question mark area with area 1, or whatever you wanted to name your specific one. I named it this one. This one was area 1. Because when you make an area, I'll show you here in a second, I kind of overlooked that. When you select it, when you connect the dots, here is the area name. Okay, just like that. There's other areas in the map, but you can name it whatever you want by just typing it in. Alright, then for the so we made these script conditions, and then if it's true that there are no units in that area, which is in this case your whole map, go back to player, go down to remove, sell, or transfer all. Player sells everything. I'll show you how that looks here. Boom. So pretty straightforward there. Alright, and then the bonus, how do you actually find vanilla maps? I covered how you can find Age of the Ring mod maps, but doing it in vanilla is a little bit different. So what you want to do, as I covered in the first episode, you want to pull up your INI, your go to your directory. You see all of these, and the most recent one is going to include, as far as I understand anyways, all of the individual maps from previously. There are times when they delete maps, however. And if there's a specific map that you still want to find from an older patch, you might have to go back and try to remember what it was called. And you'd go into it. So I'm just going to go into 9.0, the 9.0 patch. And you're going to see a list down at the bottom here. You're going to see all these maps. Whatever you do, do not click on any one of these. For some reason, it doesn't want to cooperate. It'll just cause your FinalBIG thing here to just keep freezing up, or at least it did for me. So what you want to do anyways, you want to go up to Edit, Extract All, and choose wherever you want it extracted. I chose the desktop. Put it right in there. And it's going to put all of these files out there. But you're going to see, these are the 3 files that it was. Art, bases, and maps. These are the 3 files it's going to extract wherever you want it to. Maps, obviously, is what you're going to want right now. These are all the new ones that they put at that time in 9.0. And the same concept applies for if you're using the all-in-one launcher patches. So if you get the most recent 9.5 patch, it's the most recent right now anyways, you might see a much longer list of maps. I don't know exactly how that's organized over there. That might actually have all of the maps they've ever included all in one. In 9.0, as you can see, that's not the case. And as I said, these are just the newer maps here for 9.0. If it doesn't pop up with every single map in the game for whatever patch you're looking at, let's say you're looking at 9.5 and you assume that it's going to have all of the maps in the whole game, but it doesn't. Alright, so what you want to do when you want to try to go and find the rest of the maps that the game came with, you would think that you would go to ini.big, but this is not actually true. It's not going to have any of the maps in it so far as I can understand. You can pop it up, look in this list, and it's not going to have any of those maps like you saw a second ago in the patch file. Okay, it's just not there. So what you do, you go over to maps, you can pull them up there. And here you can see all of the maps that were included before. TGA, by the way, is for different art files. So like the map, the overworld map itself, when you go to click on it, uh, you'll see what it looks like from the top. Alright, and it references things. So each of these maps has several different files in them. That's why it looks like there's a lot more than you would think. But if you extract them, we'll go over here. I put in vanilla original maps on my desktop so that way I know exactly where it's going to go. Extract all. Go to desktop, vanilla original maps. Okay. Now this I had here before. This is not going to be extracted when you extract your maps. Data is not included. So you go to maps, and then there you go. You can see them all. You got your multiplayer maps, your War of the Ring version maps, like your fortresses, and also I believe your single player. Yeah. Evil Grey Havens, Evil Erebor. This is for your single player campaigns. So you get them all in there. Now, to find it is the exact same way as you would with the Age of the Ring. You go up here, edit, or excuse me, open, file, open, and then you just browse over to, you know, your desktop where you extracted it all. And it's that simple. And you can of course put your maps all together in one file too. So there you go. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. Thanks.